All right, in this screencast, we're going to just simply kind of give you the lay of the land of Notability. It really is a fairly straightforward app, but it's like anything else. Once you get to using it, you'll get more comfortable with it. You'll find kind of nifty little tricks and shortcuts. But in terms of Notability, I think one thing that's helpful, you will see this when you get the app for the first time, this welcome. And I think it's worth keeping this because it does show you some of the functionality of Notability that I think will be useful. So there is kind of that guide there. But in terms of just showing you how Notability works, let's look at this main screen. What you see, and we're going to start over in the far right. This is where you start a new note. So if you go to the far right, the paper with the pencil in it, this is where you get a new note. I'll go back here. This is where you can import something. So if you have put something in your Google Drive, you can go and pull that in to Notability. You can search within Notability, and so you can search by date, you can search by name, etc. If we go over now to the far left, here's where we need to talk a little bit more about this side column. Okay, what Notability does is they start you off with two different organizational folders, if you will. All notes and unfiled notes. All notes is exactly what it says. It's every single note you've ever taken. You really don't want to mess with this, because if for some reason you lose something, if you accidentally delete a folder later on, or what Notability calls a subject, you're going to be able to go back into those all notes and get it. But then you also have this unfiled notes, which you'll notice I have 4 notes over here on the right. I have 4 notes under all filed. Under unfiled. One thing to keep in mind, this is just like a notebook. It can be as messy as you want it to be, but it can also be as organized as you want it to be. And so what Notability does is they make it pretty easy to actually organize. So the plus sign, if you take the plus sign, and let's right now work with subjects. So let's say here that you want science, and done. And let's put another one in there, another subject, and let's say that we want math, and done. Now what you have are 2 folders, if you will, 2 subjects that you can pull your notes into. So let's say that this family tree is actually science. If you tap and hold on the icon and you move it over, you'll see how this science, how they kind of notch out. If you put that in science, now what you will see is we went from 4 unfiled notes to now only 3, and now you have 1 note in science. Let's say that this note here is math. You're going to put that into math. And let's say that this note here, you're going to put into math as well. And the welcome one, let's say you're going to put into science. Now you'll notice I have all notes showing. That's why I'm still getting these 4. If I go to unfiled, there are notes that I have actually classified them. I've actually organized them. The goal is to get no notes that are unfiled. Okay, that'd be like having sheets of paper in a folder not knowing where they go. You'll notice if you want your science folder, there it is, and you've got all of your information for science in there. Now, this share sheet is where you can select things that you're going to share out, and you can delete things by either moving, scrolling to the left, and you'll get the delete button, or you can move it to the right and you will get rid of that. Again, once you get used to the lay of the land in Notability, it really becomes pretty easy to navigate.